share with you and listeners.
Before I ask you about why the need to reopen the investigation as your flag bearer is promising, I want to just get your opinion on the sequence of events. We follow the news from the OSP through to Iyoko, now to Attorney General. Based on your reading of all the documentation and even the advice yesterday from the Attorney General, is it the sense, and you get that sense because you're a lawyer, that it means that there's a decision to stop all investigations and prosecutions of Cecilia Dapaah? Would that be a fair and accurate representation of the information as was contained in the letter to the Iyoko by AG?
Omaro, it cannot be the case in the sense that if you look at the series of events culminating in this Cecilia Dapaah matter, you remember that it started with criminal charges against a young lady and her accomplices. Subsequently, the Office of the Special Prosecutor got involved. We are being told that at the time that those young people were arrested, they had stolen millions of Ghana cedis. One would be thinking that a situation where people are stealing that kind of money, the house would be empty. But after several months, when the Office of the Special Prosecutor intervened by going to the house with the searches and what have you, understanding is that it took about 4 to 3 hours to even count the leftover money. What the Cecilia Dapaah scandal does is that it provides what you call a smoking gun into the pervasive corruption that has engulfed the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration. And you see, for all the scandals that have engulfed this administration, what the Cecilia Dapaah one does is that it gives a view as to if Cecilia Dapaah, sanitation minister, can have this amount of money at all, unaccounted for. And in fact, if you ask her how she came by those funds in her house, and from the Office of the Special Prosecutor depositions, some of the funds were found in envelopes littered around the house. Now, if you begin to probe further, these things may suggest an attempt, as it were, to conceal these huge sums of money. So it provides a smoking gun into this whole corruption and corruption-related issues that has engulfed the Akufo-Addo Bawumia administration. And so I take the view that when you read the position by H.E. John Dramani Mahama, that we need to bring finality to this matter by allowing proper investigation into this whole scandal. Why proper investigation?
Actually, so Eddie, I think you didn't get my question. I wanted, before you even tell me about why you wanted to do a proper investigation, my question was, when you read what the AG wrote to Iyoko yesterday, is it to be understood that the government is done with the prosecution of Cecilia Dapaah or investigation of Cecilia Dapaah? Is that what it means? That
no, I mean any person that reads, thanks for the clarification. Any person that reads the opinion signed by Madame Evelyn Kilson on behalf of the Attorney General comes to one conclusion, that as far as the Attorney General is concerned, the matter involving Cecilia Dapaah has come to an end.
Okay, there's also this school of thought that the AG can only advise. It does not necessarily mean Iyoko ought to agree. Can Iyoko go ahead and prosecute even though the AG is advising to the contrary?
First of all, if you read the advice from the Attorney General, clearly there's a certain understanding that the work done is limited and that the advice from the Attorney General is premised solely on the materials provided by the EOCO. Now, you would recall that before the special prosecutor handed over the money laundering aspect to the EOCO, the special prosecutor gave an indication that as part of the interrogation, they came across some huge lodgements, which lodgements clearly came, according to Cecilia Dapaah, monies handed to her by her niece outside the country, particularly in the US of A. On the basis of that, information, the OSP triggered its relationship with the FBI to investigate the said niece in the United States of America relative to how she came by those huge sums of money. So proud to the special prosecutor sending or referring the money laundering aspect to, as it were, the YOCO for further investigation. The special prosecutor has already given a clear indication that the FBI are doing part of the investigation. Now, question. As we speak, and at the time EOCO sent that docket to the Attorney General for this advice or opinion, has the FBI concluded its investigation relating to the money laundering aspect? If that has not been done, question, why would Madam Tiwa Azedankwa submit an incomplete docket to the Attorney General? Because then it's very key. And we need to know, has the FBI concluded its investigation relative to the lodgement from the niece or whatever of Madam Cecilia Dapaah? Until those questions are answered positively, it clearly shows that the investigation is incomplete. And therefore, the position taken by A.T. John Dramani Mahama, that with the benefit of political power, with the benefit of executive authority, is going to allow for further investigation into this matter is completely welcoming. And that is where I believe that, listen, right from the beginning, Omar, for as many of us, we had always been looking for this particular conclusion from the Attorney General. The matters involving Cecilia Dapaah, a lot of subterfuge, a lot of, games have been played, mind games, at the point key appointees of Mr. Akufo-Addo decided to go after the OSP, his person, and the attacks on him simply because of this investigation. And so it did not come to us at all that today we've gotten here. If you read Mr. Akufo-Addo's acceptance of Madam Cecilia Dapaah's resignation, dated 22nd July 2023, this is what the president said. In his official capacity, look at how he addressed Madam Cecilia Dapaah. Dear Cecilia, I have received your letter dated Saturday, 22nd July 2023, resigning from the office as Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, a member of this government. It is with considerable regret that I accept your resignation, and I applaud your loyalty to the image and standing of the government. The work you undertook during your period in government was excellent and productive, and I thank you for your wholehearted contribution and devotion to the progress of the government and the nation. Now, this is where it's intriguing. I am confident, like you, that at the end of the day, your integrity whilst in office will be fully established. I wish you well. I wish you the very best in all your endeavors. Yours sincerely, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, President of the Republic. Attention, Honorable Cecilia Dapaah. So clearly, right from the beginning, the president was clear in his mind that whatever it is, the integrity of Madam Cecilia Dapaah will be established. Now, where somebody refers a matter for the purposes of investigation, and the person right from the beginning believes that the conclusion will be one. And today, whatever it is that the president has said, it appears the various law enforcement agencies have all worked together to reach this particular conclusion. And that is what it is. And so it's not surprising to many of us that the Attorney General's office will come out with this, knowing fully that the FBI were involved in this matter. And as we speak, EOCO has not provided the good people of this country any form of whatever the response the FBI has given relative to the huge lodgement from the needs that was identified in the course of the investigation, Omar.
So for you, this was all planned and now has been executed.
From the tenor of the president's letter, dated the 23rd day of July, 2023, the president was clear that her integrity would be established. So it does appear, if you look at the events that have unfolded relative to then and now, it was to, as it were, fit in into a particular, it's like it was tailor-made.
Even though these are independent institutions that did an independent job.
As you rightly pointed out, if the EOCO were so independent, possibly they would not be asking for the opinion of the Attorney General. First of all, if you read the law establishing the Office of the Economic and Organized Crime Unit, you would notice that it is part of the Attorney General's overall powers to, as it were, prosecute criminal matters that have been ceded to YOCO. So YOCO works under the Attorney General. That explains how independent they are. So clearly, this cannot be an independent office when it is part of my authority that I've given portions of it to you. You understand? So, ultimately, Omar, we come to one conclusion. Which conclusion is that we are dealing with an investigation that is incomplete. And to the extent that the investigation is incomplete, it allows for that completion. And AG John Dramani Mahama is promising the electorate that with the benefit of executive authority, I would have this investigation completed. And where it is necessary and appropriate, the laws of this country would have to work. It's a very simple conversation.
Thank you so much. Let's leave it here. Eduju Kujo Tamaklo is head of legal affairs of the National Democratic Congress.